Quote, "What fascinated me about making films wasn't so much about the possibility of altering, of affecting or directing something, but simply watching it. Noticing or revealing things is actually more precious to me than getting over some kind of message." End of quote. These are the words of the inventors, the author of the film Pina. In complete seriousness and without the hint of irony or pathos, I can say that Pina became a life-changing film for me. Never before in the cinema I experienced such a flood of emotions, such a bizarre responses and unusual reactions to what happened on screen. In this essay, I shall try and analyze the inner workings of the film, rationalize my own emotional responses in order to identify the methods that I could use in my future editing practice. From the first days of cinema, filmmakers were seduced by the idea of putting dance on screen. Moving image and moving body were crying to be brought together. Finally, the medium to preserve the dance in its all transitory glory has arrived. Over 100 years on, and dance stubbornly refuses to fully inhabit the screen. I shall study the ways that in which Wenders translates the expressiveness of dance medium to truly cinematic experience. I shall also look at the role montage plays in successful construction of a film with absence of a clear storyline, as well as montage's unifying device that binds the separate pieces together. I shall examine what effect montage creates as a collision. And lastly, I shall analyze Pina in the light of theory of cinema of attractions as outlined by Tongani. So, partly the appeal of Pina lies in the strength of its visuals. The color, the composition, the framing, the camera movement, they're all instrumental in engaging the viewer emotionally and intellectually. Attempts to translate dance onto screen started as early as the cinema was born. Quote, "Is it by pure chance that recent decades have witnessed a revival of the art of dance at the same time as film became a universal need?" asked Bela Balash in 1924. "We evidently have many things to say that cannot be expressed in words." End of quote. He goes on to say that, quote, "Whatever is expressed in his man's face and his movements arises from a stratum of soul that can never be brought to the light of day by words. Here the body becomes unmeditated spirit rendered visible, wordless." End of quote. What if not film with its ability to record is a perfect medium to capture dance? Both deal with movement, match made in heaven. Or is it? In his book Theory of Film, Siegfried Kracauer highlighted the difficulties that filmmakers face in bringing dance onto screen. Quote, "Screen reproductions of theatrical dancing either indulge in completeness, which is boring, or offer a selection of attractive details which confuse and that they dismember rather than preserve the original." End of quote. He goes on to suggest that solutions might be found in getting the camera to move itself, performing tilts, pans, and traveling. All these movements would cause the viewer to experience kinesthetic responses, so-called resonance effect, which causes the viewer to project the spatial sensations he experiences in its wake into his simultaneous reality. End of quote. Wenders demonstrates incredible sensitivity and respect to dance and its internal dynamics. The camera is tightly choreographed into the performance and it's moving balanced with the density of dance. The camera is almost never still unless there are some long shots where it's fixed. And it's always slightly moving, as if mimicking our own movements in the seats of a cinema auditorium. This lends the image on its tone quality, as if camera is ready to rush after the dancers anytime. Quote, "Dancing attends to cinematic eminence only if it is a part and parcel of physical reality," argues Kracauer. Employing the means of stereoscopy helped to partly achieve this goal. Wenders in his interview said, "With 3D, our project would be possible. Only in this way, by incorporating the dimension of space, I could dare to bring Pina's dance theater in an adequate form to the screen." End of quote. His idea to present dance as it would be viewed in a three-dimensional space where this medium belongs, and to do it in a way that the audience would forget that they are watching the 3D film after 2 minutes. In my opinion, he succeeded in his attempt.